Whenever it is that you are watching the broadcast. Hello, 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 hello. And how do you do? Welcome, 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 welcome. For those of you who will be live, I look forward to it. Let's do it. Let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. For those of you who will hashtag it and replay it, yes, 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 yes. For those of you who will be on and I don't know you on, I might not never know you on, I can appreciate that. And for those of you who will be used by Papa at some point down the road, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being in service. I am grateful and I appreciate you for being in service. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about this notion of our best. And what if? What if, beloved? What if your best is not good enough? What if my best isn't good enough? Then what do you do? If your best isn't enough? Because once we've given our best, we've given everything that we have to give. But that doesn't mean that our best is going to be enough, right? All we can do is what we can do. Beyond that, there isn't anything that we can do. So be okay with your best. Love on your best. Appreciate your best. Value your best. Now, we can always work on bettering our best, right? If that's a thing, if the situation is such that we can improve, and if our best isn't currently good enough, then we can work on bettering our best. Or we can accept that our best is where it is and this is where it's going to stay. This is what I feel about it. This is what I think about it. And you get to decide, depending on your scenario, what's going on, what happens with your best. What if your best just isn't good enough? It does not cut the mustard. It doesn't get you what you want. It doesn't lead you to what you need. Your best is just not sufficient. It doesn't close the gap. What if? Well, we got to still be about the business of doing the thing that is ours to do, that nobody else can do, will do, has done, right? We still have the responsibility, beloved, of showing up with the best that we have to give. What you think about that? It's still on us. It is still on us. Have a good morning, Sherry Naylor. So good to see you. Morning. How you doing? So we still have best to do, to give, to have. It's still our responsibility to show up with what is ours. We can't do anything about what is somebody else's. Nothing we can do about that. But ours, our best. No matter what, no matter whether it's good enough, no matter whether or not it meets the need. Like that ain't necessarily that's not necessarily our responsibility. Our responsibility is to show up with our best, not to judge it, not to compare it to anybody else's, right? Not even to give it a rating. Just say, this is my best. Do it to the best of your ability. When we can better our best, right? When we can work on our best, we better it. We work on bettering it, but also know that sometimes our best is just not good enough. Sometimes we might need to what is the word? Put our best with somebody else's best in order to equal up to what's needed for the scenario. Sometimes we need to let somebody else do it because our best isn't sufficient for what is needed, right? Sometimes we just need to do our part, let somebody else come and do their part. Like you gotta know that if your best isn't good enough, then okay, then there's still something that needs to be done. And is it you to do it? It may not be. Is it somebody you're partnering with? Do you have to tag somebody into it? Whatever it is, like don't stay in a scenario doing something and you know your best is not enough. It's time to move over. Let somebody else do it. To give up your space, perhaps, so that someone else's best that fits the scenario, because you may just not be a good fit. You may just not be a good fit. It doesn't mean that we don't have mad skills. It doesn't mean that we don't, that we're not a blessing. It just means we don't fit this scenario. So our best isn't good enough for this scenario because it doesn't fit. Hey, Judith, good morning. Yeah, it's not good enough for this situation because our best doesn't fit in this situation, right? It just doesn't fit. So I'm going to invite us. Hey, Erica. Hey, Honey Bun. Good morning. So I'm going to invite us to, be okay with the best that we bring to the table, even if that best isn't good enough for the scenario, to be okay with it. Like we've done the best that we can. And once you've done your best, let somebody else do the rest. Right? Once you've done your best and you relax and let it go. Or if you need to better your best, then you go on and work on that. That's totally up to you. But however you do it from a place of inner peace as opposed to turmoil fighting. Letitia, good morning, Scribe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So what if your best isn't good enough? Sometimes you just got to partner with people because you got a partial of the best. You got a best, which is a partial. They got a best, which is a partial. Put it together, you got a whole magnificent best, right? Sometimes you got to partner with people. And sometimes you got to let it be what it is. You got to let it be what it is. Because sometimes it's more of a problem to try to change it, shift it, or whatever, than to just say, okay, this is what we got, y'all. This is the outcome. This is my best. Combined with this, here's the outcome. And be okay with the part that we play. Okay? Just be okay with your part. Be okay with your best at whatever level it is. Whatever it is. Sometimes the best, as we said, is to begin again. Right? Sometimes our best is to begin again. Just do it again. Try it again. Reach out for it again. Sometimes our best is to just let it go. Wait for another day. Wait for another opportunity. Wait for another chance. Or create your opportunity. Create your chance. Don't wait for it. Create it. Don't wait till the battle is over. Shout now. Don't wait. Create it. What if your best isn't good enough? What else you got? If that's not good enough, my question becomes, what else you got? Sometimes your best will have you pivot, learn, and to be flexible. Amen. Yes, it will. Yes, it will have you to pivot. Your best, beloved, will have you to pivot. Sometimes your best is to do nothing. Sometimes the best thing we can do in a scenario is nothing. Right? So the flexibility of doing nothing. Sometimes it's the best we got to bring to the table. But it's imperative that we know, ask ourselves the what if. What if it's not good enough? Well, then I'll do such and such. Well, then I'll such and such. Well, then I don't really know, but I know I'm going to be all right. I know the situation is going to be all right because I know in whom I believe and in whom I trust. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, the Son of the living God. And so he says all things will work together for those who love the Lord and are the called according to his purpose. And since I love the Lord, my expectation, my anticipation is that things are always working out for me. Things will work out for my good and your good too, if we in close proximity. I'm just saying. Bernadette, good morning, my sister. So good to see you. Good morning. Love you back. So if your best isn't good enough, let me just say, first of all, what you don't do is beat yourself up. What you don't do is berate yourself. What you don't do is say, I knew I should have. No. No, do not do it. Because that energy that you're using to beat yourself up, you could be using that energy to better your best or to accept what the best is currently. Eric, I'm learning some people don't like to share. Sometimes you have to look past people that don't want to change their bad ways. Yeah, absolutely. If people don't want to change, there's not a lot we can do about it. Right? It's not a lot we can do about it. We can invite them to change. I invite people to change all the time. But then we got to let it go because we don't have the responsibility of their change. They have the responsibility of their change. And they have the responsibility of no change. If they decide to not change, they're responsible for that too. So, what if your best isn't good enough? What if it isn't good enough? It's an acceptance piece. Be like, okay, well, maybe I need to learn some more, or maybe I'm at the end of my journey of this, or maybe, so-and-so is tagging in because they got the other piece of this. Like, you got to be okay. You just have to be okay and know that things are working out, right? Know that things are working out. If your best isn't good enough, don't stay there. Don't stay there in a murmuring and complaining scenario. Get what you need, right? Get what you need from it and show up again. And do you know that if you keep showing up and you keep doing the thing, do you know you're going to automatically get better anyway? Because repetition is key. And anything we practice, we can improve. So whatever it is that you're doing, and if your best wasn't good enough, just keep showing up in that space. Keep doing it. Do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. I promise you, I'm a totally different therapist than I was when I started 20-something years ago. Totally different. Totally different. Like, my level of relaxation is incomparable. Cannot compare it to what it was, because what it was, was not a lot comparatively. But it was a lot because they were typically, let me say, well, let me just say this. When you think about what if your best isn't good enough, give what you got to give and love what you've given. Appreciate what you've given. And they say what we appreciate appreciates. So it will expand, it will increase, it will grow. It will do what it's set forth to do, like the word of God, right? It will do what it has set forth to do. So don't worry about if it's not good enough. Like, if you can do something about it, do it. If you can't, release it, let it go, and trust Papa. Know that things will work out as he intend for them to work out. So better your best as you can. Like, keep showing up for the thing. Make it a habit, and improve those ways of showing up. Just improve. Every time you try it again, you have an opportunity to improve. And before you know it, perhaps your best is sufficient for whatever it is that you are needing to handle on this day. Perhaps, or perhaps it never will be, and that's okay too. But the thing that we don't want to be is confused about it or disillusioned about it, right? We don't want to be like in that way. And so just, make a decision, make the call, and then we will be in action, right? Once you make the decision and be in action, as only you can be in action, as only you can be in action. So if your best isn't good enough, you got to decide what needs to happen. Do you leave it alone, let it go, and let that be sufficient? Do you work on bettering your best, improving yourself, make so that you have the opportunity to have a best that's good enough for whatever the scenario is? Do you do a tag team and you invite somebody in and your best and their best comes to be the best, right? Do you just inform somebody like you've done it and now where you left off, you're going to give it to somebody else? There's so many ways in which to look at our best and to whether or not it's sufficient, whether or not it's good enough. So even if it's not good enough, we have some strategies around how to navigate it. All right, beloved. All right. I love you. I appreciate you. I value you. I honor you today. Thank you for being on. Thank you for playing with me. You know, I love your interactions. It just warms my heart. Thank you for saying good morning and all those good things. I love you. Send love all of your ways. And today we will be on WKEJ Live in Detroit, bringing you For the Love of It as Dr. Catherine E. James hosts the For the Love of It television show. All right. So make sure you tune in 11:30 to noon Eastern Standard Time. And we will go live from this space right here. Just like you got this, you'll be able to get that. How about that? All right, beloved, I do love you. I do appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate how you show up in Papa's Universe. Have a fantastic day. See some of you at 11:30. Come with your questions. All right, bye-bye now.